My name's Geoff. I'm sure you know that by now. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend Paul over there. How are you tonight?
Hi. Yes, that's me. I'm very tired. I've had far too much wine, and it's way too dark and cold outside. But otherwise, I'm tickety-boo, me old mate.
Good, good. And we're joined by a friend of ours tonight. Max is joining us all the way from Texas in America. How are you tonight, Max?
I'm doing good today.
Good. Thank you for joining us. So this is a sort of first for us. This is we're going to play Magic the Gathering Doctor Who edition live here, and Paul and I are beginners is a generous term. For
very
us.
Generous.
But Max is more experienced and knowledgeable, and so hopefully this will work for anyone who is looking to get into playing Magic Doctor Who and kind of find out how it works and what you do in it. So yeah, hopefully tonight you can have a laugh at Paul and I as we lose probably, and pick up a few tips from us on what not to do and Max on what to do.
Well, that's the really fun part about the Doctor Who decks, is that they are so sporadic and they have such unique abilities that it really is a coin toss, even though I have experience. So, really exciting stuff.
You're just saying that in case you lose horrifically, aren't you?
Yeah,
that's
honestly,
what it is.
Yeah, that's
which is not going to happen, I'll tell you now.
Max,
Yes.
my commander is the 13th Doctor.
Oh, we got to do a lag again, haven't we?
And her companion, Yaz. So if you'd like to show us yours.
Absolutely. So I'm playing as the 9th Doctor today.
Yep.
He's got a little extra upkeep, so that'll help with the time travel spells. Ooh. And then I've got Rose Tyler as my second one as my companion. And she will be good because anytime there's a time counter on the field, I get to add +1/+1 to her, so she can become an absolute tank by the end of this.
Oh, okay, interesting. Paul, would you like to show us your commander and companion?
Yeah, my commander is the 12th Doctor.
Yeah.
So I'm having him. He's going to be my commander. And joining Mr. Disco is going to be, as soon as I can find...
if you're listening to this episode, this is a watch, not listen episode. Really, Paul is displaying that he hasn't prepped anything here.
I haven't. I told you, I've had far too much wine today.
That could work.
Not that I'd forgotten we were jumping on tonight, but I have visitors down, so we have guests, and one must do hospitality and stuff like that. However, what one must not do is drink all the drinks before your guests arrive. I believe that is generally considered a poor do. So, can I have Sally Sparrow?
Does it have the Doctor's companion on the side of it?
No. So that's a no then.
No.
Okay. Anyway, you do yours, Geoff, while I hunt for something appropriate.
Well, he is sozzled, Max. I've already done mine.
Have you? Can I have a Cyberman? That'd be a good idea, like handles or something. That'd be
no,
good.
It needs to be a doctor and a normal companion, really.
These are all upside down, man.
Have you not got a Clara or a Bill?
Yeah, hold on. I've got one of them. I've just got back like 3,000 cards to kind of work through whilst I find someone. Zygon Infiltrator.
Whilst you do that, I'm going to ask Max.
Yeah.
So, Max, when you start your turn, what's the first thing you do before you've... So, I know what the routine is on a turn, but on your first turn, when you have nothing on your table, what do you do?
Alright, so the first thing you do is you go ahead and you pull 7 cards from your deck. That'll be your hand. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. And you can go ahead and take a look at those. You can probably keep them to yourself just in case.
Okay.
You're going to want to make sure you have at least a land so you can play that down.
Okay. So if
you don't like your... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to explain about doing a mulligan?
Yeah, so if you don't like your hand, you can go ahead and you can draw again. You can do that by shuffling your deck and then going ahead and drawing another card. Or no, you put them at the bottom of your deck, rather. Okay. And then you can draw once for free. You can draw 7 cards, but each time after that, you have to go ahead and get rid of one those cards. So
Okay.
if you didn't like them, you get a whole new 7. But if you don't like them after that, you'll only get 6.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And with your commander and companion here, because we're playing the commander mode of the game, do you put those out on your battlefield already, or are you going to bring them out when you want a bit of extra firepower?
So basically, with the commander, they are in the command zone. So with the command zone, pretty much you can play them at any time if you have the correct mana for it. Okay. So let's say I had a water land, a fire land, and 1 extra mana. I could go ahead and play the Ninth Doctor. Okay. And the cool thing is, if the Ninth Doctor were to die, then he would go back to my command zone. I could play him again just for an additional 2 mana.
Okay, that's what I thought. So we'll just explain quickly. So on the card here, on my 13, you can see in the top corner, and on Max's Doctor there's 2 symbols for mana, and then there's a number in a sort of creamy...
An additional number.
Yeah. So that is any mana, isn't it? So the 13th Doctor, it needs a water and a green mana to cast, and then 1 of anything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Alrighty.
So Paul,
who's
good?
your second companion?
Turlo!
Oh.
Turlo. Ooh.
Yes. Because I think he's the only actual companion that I've got, actually, looking at it.
Hey,
I have the Masters of something deck.
But I wonder, in the Masters of Evil deck, you could probably do a Missy and a John Sim or something, couldn't you?
Don't know.
Actually, so with the bad guys, they don't have the option for a second commander. It's not completely unique to Doctor Who, but the mechanic of the Doctor's companion is something that hasn't been seen in a while for Magic. So
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So actually, I'd probably be better off playing an evil character, wouldn't I?
Absolutely. Yeah. The one that it recommends is Davros. And Davros, what's cool about him is whenever any of your opponents get 3 damage dealt to them, you get to make a Dalek for each of those.
Ooh, that's
so you can build up a huge army and just wipe us all out.
Nice.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. There's Davros. I have
Max,
Davros.
should we explain the plane chase cards as well?
Yeah, so plane chase, what we'll probably do is we'll have one of us doing it. So Geoff, you could probably do that.
Okay.
Basically with plane chase, at any point during your turn, you have the option to roll the planar die, which should have come with your decks. It is this right here. I can't tell if it's popping up. Yeah. So you've got 2 sides. You've got the plane chase die, which means you get to change what plane you're on.
Yep.
And then you have the chaos ensues die.
Yep.
And on each plane chase card, there is a chaos ensues option, which can typically either be good or bad for the person that ensues chaos.
Okay. And these plane chase, I know that they are something that has been in Magic before, but not for quite a long time as well. And in the Doctor Who version, they work quite nicely as a sort of the time travel, planet travel function, don't they?
Exactly. They've really brought back a lot of stuff from Magic's history with this deck, just because, of course that would work for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So Plane Chase hasn't been around for ages. I mean, you can even kind of tell based off of the back of the card there, that's an ancient design.
Yes.
So they just haven't had to use it in a while.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Right. So, are we all ready to get going?
Yes. Okay. How do we start? What do we do?
Okay, over to you, Max.
Alrighty. So, for your first turn, typically you're just going to place down a land card. That'll go ahead and be what you use to cast your spells. So, for my land, I'm going to actually play a legendary land.
Ooh.
I'm going to play the Trenzalore Clock Tower.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, with that one, it's got a special ability where I could... for every turn, I put a time counter on the clock tower, and after I get 12 of those, I am able to draw 7 extra cards. So that'll be a huge game changer if we ever get to that point.
What? Oh my goodness!
Can I talking of tokens? Can I ask, because we've had these in the box? Can you see that there?
Yes, I can.
So these are tokens, aren't they? But they've got different insignias on them. are these just tokens? They're not anything kind of specific, or?
Yeah, so those are just counters. You can use them for pretty much whatever. So for my deck, because it was so centric on time counters, I decided to pick up some dice. So whenever you see me playing, instead of having multiple counters, I'll just put, if there's 5 time counters, I'll just put it on 5.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's a good tip. Okay,
that seems like a good idea.
Yeah, you got a little box there. Paul, we had some tokens in the March of the Machines box, so we could maybe bring those into here. So we've got some more. Okay, so you put your land down, Max. What would you do next?
So currently in my hand, I have nothing that I can play using my 1 land. So at this point, I'm just going to pass my turn. So on to the next person.
Okay, so when Paul and I played the other night, we initially... you can't build up a big stack of land or anything.
We went crazy. I beat you in 1 turn and then realised I couldn't actually play the card.
Yeah.
So we kind of had to dial it all back. Wait, what do those numbers mean? What is that? Oh, that's what it is.
There wasn't enough mana to cast it, was there? And it was a really powerful card.
It's a killer card.
Yeah, but I guess the purpose of something like that is to bring it into play later in the game, like you were saying with the trend, your Trenzalore land there. You got to go through a number of goes before you can kind of make use of it and activate its full strength and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. Paul, do you want to go next?
Okay, so I'm taking 7 cards, is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And these are all like face down, yeah?
Yes.
5.
But you can definitely look at them. 7. I would recommend looking at them off camera in case there's anything good you want to keep hidden from us.
I've probably shown mine on camera, to be honest.
I think you did, but I specifically looked off to the side just to make sure we were playing fair.
I believe you. Paul didn't. Paul
was okay. Yeah. I have my 7 cards. Now, from this then, what kind of thing am I looking for? I'm looking for a land card first off?
Absolutely, yeah. So anything that is labeled as a land or a legendary land, you can play during your land.
Okay, and if I don't have a land card?
I recommend you mulligan, so that would mean you put them at the bottom of your deck and you pull 7 new cards out.
Okay, and so I'm doing that then. So let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's have a look. So I've got a vehicle, I've got sorcery, I've got an artifact, I've got an enchantment, another enchantment, and another artifact. Still no land card. Do I have to do it again?
Maybe shuffle your deck up and then try again. I hate to.
One more time, people. Let's
one more time for the people in the back.
Right. Okay. So
in the cheap seats. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more as well.
Hold on, what's that?
Probably
what's that
shouldn't
thing?
at this point. But...
You know what? If we're taking a shuffle break, I may as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, brilliant. We're off. We're rocking and rolling. I now have a land. What do I do with it? There. So I play that. Do I have to?
So put it down. So
or can I leave it?
I'd recommend playing it because you need land to cast spells.
Okay, right. That's a land card. Now that is Shadow Blood Ridge, which has a little picture of TARDIS on it. There's a little 1 there. There's a little return symbol, and it says add 1 skull. And then I don't know what that is. So let's see if I can lift it up.
That return symbol is the symbol for tap.
Is it?
So when you tap it, you turn it on the side.
Get into focus, and actually,
can you read that, Max? It's really broken up for me.
I'm making it out now. It's quite pixelated, but it says add 1 skull and 1. I believe that's a nuke, or is that a fire?
It looks
is
like
that a fire one
to me.
Yeah, so you get both of those if you play if you play it with 1 additional mana. So you can basically choose what energy you want.
Okay,
and then you'd search through your deck to find that, I guess.
No, so you would just play it like any normal land,
but
just with your specific one.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Just like that. Gotcha. So it just goes on as it is just now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking. Yeah. So I could play a creature. Could I?
Is it 1 mana?
Yes, I believe. Well, the creature is the creature 1 mana.
Yes.
I do have one with 1 mana, yes. Oh, but it has... It has the... It says 1 mana, it must be the skull. Well, I've got the skull in my land card, right?
Yep.
And it's got a water, which I don't have in my land card.
You do not have.
So I can't play it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Right, let's leave that there. So I've just got to kind of leave that as it is, right?
Yeah, so this is kind of what we thought the other night, Paul. You've got to build it up a little bit to start with.
Build it.
Okay.
And then since I played one, I'll take another one off my deck. Into my hand,
you
or
do
not?
that at the beginning of your next turn.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Righto.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Piece of
Right,
cake. Over to you, Geoff.
I'm putting down Exotic Orchard, which is a land. And this says when you tap it, add 1 mana of any colour that a land an opponent controls could produce. So, for example, I could take your, well, not so much yours there, Paul, because it's kind of a bit random, but whatever you've got, Max, that was beneficial to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could do a water type. So
Yeah,
if you need an additional.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then I've also got a mountain land, which is just red mana. And I'm just going to put those down. I don't have anything else to add at the minute.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You're supposed to put down 1 per turn.
Oh, okay. In that case,
1, Geoff.
okay.
1.
No, that's good. That's the sort of thing we need to know.
Per
so I'm just going to put
turn.
down my mountain.
Alrighty, there we go.
Okay.
So,
Well, we certainly went wrong on that then,
Alrighty.
Paul.
and we'll pretend like we didn't see the other one.
Never saw that.
Yes. Yeah.
It's gone.
Let me just
It's gone.
wind this video feed back a little bit. Okay,
Alrighty.
right. So you'll go then, Max.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. And now that I'm looking at what I have, I'm going to play down a Glacial Fortress. However, because, and this is from a 7th Doctor episode, so I'll go ahead and show it off right here. The art in this is basically
nice.
the main reason why I got it. Is
Yeah, they're great.
so, it's fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and enter this, but because I don't control a plains or an island, I have to play it tapped, which means I cannot use it this turn. Which means, unfortunately, I am still unable to play anything, so I will pass it along.
So let me ask as well, when you put a creature out, you have to effectively tap it first time as summoning sickness, don't you? You can't play it immediately, is that right?
Yes, exactly. So it can block, but it cannot attack upon its first turn.
Okay.
And when you do that, you will have to tap your cards as well, kind of like using energy.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I will go ahead, before I end my turn, I will tap this one so I can put a time counter on it.
Yes, don't forget that. Yeah.
So there would be.
Okay.
There would be. All right, that's my turn.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Over
Right. So
to
I'm gonna draw one. So I've now got 7 again. And I'm just going to refocus. Okay. So I've already played a land card, so I don't need to play another land card, right? Unless I have one.
I would recommend, so you draw another card, and if there is another land card, great, because that's how you would potentially draw your spells in the future. But if not, then...
I literally don't. So is it an idea to have, like... so for the early goes, the early rounds, is it a good idea to play land cards to kind of stack them up as much as possible?
Yeah. Basically, you're going to want to stack as many lands as possible so you can play as many creatures and stuff as possible.
Okay. So I have none. So, I mean, what's the best thing to do here then? Again, just mulligan the whole thing?
So you can't mulligan after the first turn.
Oh, okay.
But, so I guess you're just going to have to sit out and wait for your next turn. That's the cruelty of Magic.
But that's weird, though, because... So how do I get 7? So I'm only allowed seven cards in my hand, right?
Yeah. So
how do I get another card into my deck? Do I kind of just let one go at random, or what do I do?
You should be, for the sake of presentation, if you wanted to just pull another land card just so we can keep it going. I'm cool with breaking the rules just a tad.
No, it's fine. But I just wondered. Generally, if this happens, though, you know what's the law? What's the magic law? What's the advice? Is it basically you're
at
stuffed?
That point, you're basically you're stuffed.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Okay, right.
You've got it to a T.
You're stuffed. So I mean, I'm not being funny, but there don't seem to be an awful lot of land cards in the deck. I can probably count them on one hand how many are actually here. Yeah.
Well, there should be. There should be the required number that you can only have a certain number, can't you?
What's the required number?
So I think they should have given you, I believe, 25 of your cards should have been land cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be there. They'll be there, Paul, but you've probably just got them not brilliantly shuffled.
Yeah, probably. Very possible.
If you want to do a reshuffle, that might be good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I can see a few off 3. Anyway, okay, so I can't go, so you two carry on.
Okay, so on to me then.
And I shall reshuffle.
Take a card to start with, and then I'm going to play
There's a land. I've got that.
a card that you've not seen, which is Exotic Orchard.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's new to you, isn't it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Exciting. And I'm just going to have another quick look over. I've got quite a good number of things here. Okay. Now in this turn, Max. So how does it go? Is it draw, main, combat? What's this steps? Isn't there?
So there's so you draw, you do upkeep, so you untap your cards at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of different like sorceries and stuff you can play prior to your combat turn. Whenever you have a creature out, you can go ahead and attack using that creature during the attack phase. But if you don't have anything to attack, you pretty much just skip that. And then certain cards will have something on it that says during your end step do this, and that would be after your combat.
Okay. So at this point, having drawn and placed my land, could I do in the sorcery spell stage one of the plane chase cards and put us somewhere?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, let's go ahead and put us on a plane right now.
My plane chase card, let me show you.
All right, and this is all of us. So all of us are on this plane currently.
Yeah. So this is where the battle is taking place.
Yeah,
at the Viking village.
We've been taken there.
The besieged Viking village.
All creatures have boast, and then it's got 1. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Activate only if that creature attacked this turn and only once on each turn. So none of us have any creatures out yet, do we? So
not
Max,
yet.
We do not.
What does boast do?
So pretty much, boast adds a drawback to an activated ability. So we can only activate the ability after the creature with the ability attacks. So that is pretty limiting. But because did it say that whenever it enters the battlefield, all the creatures on the battlefield would get boast?
Yeah, all creatures. It says all creatures have boast, and then it's got 1 in the little creamy dot, and then put a +1 counter on this creature, and it activate only if that creature attacked in this turn and only once per turn.
Okay, so we're gonna want to get out of this village pretty quick, in my opinion. I think this seems like more of a later game place, so we're gonna want to be rolling our dices pretty much every turn.
Okay,
so
shall I do that now, or do you want to do it when it goes back round to you?
Honestly, I would give it a go since only 2 of the sides actually have anything on it. So very well could be that we get. Yep, nothing. We got nothing. So we are stuck on this plane for now.
Okay. All right, that's going to be the end of my turn then. So back round to you, Max.
Good deal.
Oh, and I needed to. Did I need to tap this when it went down?
Does it say when it enters the battlefield it needs to tap?
No.
All right, then you're good to go.
Okay.
Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a card, or I need to untap as well, and do upkeep, which means I need to add a time counter here to Trencil Clock Tower. And I'm going to go ahead and play... I'm going to tap both of these cards here.
Ooh.
And I'm going to play down a Mind Stone.
What?
This cool
handles!
Cyberman head. Yeah, it's handles. So that is now in my on my my battlefield, but it's just an artifact. So basically, I can tap it, and it adds a mana. Okay. Or if I wanted to, I could use 1 mana and then tap it to sacrifice it and draw another card. So if I'm running low on cards, which honestly I might be going ahead and doing that at some point, then I can go ahead and sacrifice that card for another one.
That's good.
Whoa. Right. Okay. My go. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I got. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I got 7. Strangely, something seemed to appear in my hand, which is an ominous cemetery, which is a land card.
Ooh, way! We made it.
Which is amazing. Hey! So we're getting somewhere. So that now, let me just lift that up so we can see. I'm just trying to figure it out.
That looks cool.
Yeah, that does look cool.
Hold on.
That's a weeping angel on it.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it says if you tap it, is that a skull one? Is that one of the black mana?
It's a good question.
Is it a diamond shape?
It's it is a diamond shape, yeah. So
all right, so that's going to be white.
There
we are.
Yeah, I'll get it. There we go.
And if you wanted to at any point, you could exile that card, and then a target. Is it a target creature from an opponent? Is that what it says? It shuffles into their board.
Because my phone is actually back to front to the way it's like trying to drive forward in reverse.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah, if you could read that last little bit for me, that would be killer. It's target creature's owner shuffles it into their library. So basically, you can get rid of one of our cards if you wanted to by getting rid of that card.
So exile ominous cemetery. Target creature's owner shuffles it into their library. So I can say to you, you got to exile one of your cards, right?
Yeah. So if you pay the mana cost and exile that card, absolutely. So if I had a creature on the field, so let's say I had, I don't know, the 9th Doctor was on the field.
Yeah.
You could be like, nope, exile it. It needs to go back to the command zone.
But you don't have any creatures at the moment, do you?
No, I do not. So
Geoff
I would recommend keeping that for mana purposes, so you can cast some spells on us.
So keep it in my deck. Do you think?
So keep it on the field.
On the field, unplayed. Okay, so this is currently just standing there. They're not active until I do this, right?
Yeah. So you've got 2 mana right now, and you can pick between a red or a black for your second one.
Okay.
So.
Right. So that would affect. So I could. Let's have a look. So I could play an artifact or something, right?
Yeah, you can go ahead and play an artifact if it's got 2 mana cost. Yeah.
Let's have a look. So what do I have? No, that's 3. I've got a creature with 3. It's got a number 3 and it has 2 death head symbols.
All right, so that means it would be 5 total, with 2 of them specifically being death.
Right. Yeah. So okay. So I can't play that either. So I might as well leave that now, and move on to Mr. Geoff. Up to you, mate.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. So 3. I'm going to draw a card.
6 cards now.
And I've got a. Ooh, that's quite good. So Max, how many cards can you put down in this stage?
So you could put down as many as you can afford using your mana. The only thing is you can only play 1 land card, but other than that, you can play as much as you would like.
Okay, so in that case, well, I can put stuff down even if I can't play them yet, can't I?
No, you've got to wait until the mana cost, unless it says something different. Like, so for some example, some of my cards have something on it that says suspend. Mm-hmm. If I have suspend, I can pay the suspend cost instead and put it on the field with time counters, so it's not technically in play yet.
Okay.
But once the time counters run out, then I'll be able to play those.
So if a card needs 3 mana, but I've only got 2 here, I can't put that down on the battlefield yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Gotta wait for 1 more mana.
Okay. That's
you got to build up your mana first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have anything I could put down at the moment, so I could mulligan something here, couldn't I?
Not after you first go.
Not after your first
go.
go.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. All right. Good to know. Okay. I'm not going to do anything other than maybe I'm going to roll the dice at this point.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Which I can here, can't I?
Yep, you can.
Nothing.
Did you get it? Nothing?
Nothing.
Alrighty.
So we're still in the besieged Viking village.
Besieged Viking village. Right.
Alrighty. So,
Okay.
Alrighty. I'll go ahead and untap my cards. I'll add a time counter to Trenzalore Clock Tower, and I will go ahead and draw a card.
Sorry, Max. What's the time counter doing?
So basically, every time I tap Trenzalore Clock Tower, it'll go ahead and add a time counter to it.
That's part of the attributes of the card, right?
Exactly. And then once I have 12, I can go ahead and pull 7 new cards from my library. So it'll really help me out there.
Oh, that's good.
If I need extra
good
cards.
Card.
So I'm also going to go ahead and let's see. So I've got 1 mana in play right now. So I could do up to 3. Do I have anything I could do with that? Ooh, I do. Okay. Ooh. I'm going to go ahead and tap my other cards here. And I'm going to play The Girl in the Fireplace, which is a Saga card. Yeah.
Oh, Saga.
So,
yeah, okay.
On my first one, I create a 1/1 white human noble with Vanishing 3 and prevent all damage that would be dealt to this creature. So it's pretty much invincible for the time being, but it's only a 1/1, so wouldn't be able to do too much anyway. So I have a shiny token of this. I got it in my booster deck. So I'll put this down, and I have that human noble on the field.
Hey,
okay,
alrighty, and I have utilized all of my energy, and I have nothing else to play. So I will go ahead and pass it off to Paul.
Okay, right. So I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll draw another card. Thus, I draw the card. I add it to my deck, and as my eyes focus, ooh. So can I play this? I must be able to play one of these now. One of these creatures. So I've got one. I've got the Death's Head and the. What is that? Is that like? What is that one? The sort of whirly one.
That one is, I believe, a fire. Is it the one that kind of looks like a fireball?
Yeah, possibly.
Kind of looks like a...
Yeah, I reckon, because the side of it's red as well, I reckon that's a fire.
It's a fire.
Yeah. There's an official name for it, but pretty much everyone just calls it either red or fire.
It's just fire! Yeah, so, okay, so I can play, as long as it's got 1, and what's that, like, return symbol? So
basically, you could play your other card. You could tap that for mana, and then you'd get both of those as well. So you could play your other card.
My Ominous Cemetery, which adds a diamond.
Yeah, so that might be good because that'll play. If you need anything with the specifically like 1 black, 1 red, you can tap that card and play that card for both of those.
Oh, so it's a diamond like any mana. Doesn't matter. It stands in for anything, right?
Yeah, that's just mana.
And there's a number 5 on there as well. What's that?
Number 5 on that card.
On the Ominous Cemetery, yeah. Get it as soon as I can get it into view. Oh, come on. Sorry. There we go.
You're all good.
See number 5?
So Ominous.
Oh, so that's how you would exile it to do the target creature.
Right.
Thing. So, so if you had 5 mana, you could play that, exile one of our creatures.
Oh, okay, so I need 5 mana to play that particular move.
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah, some of them have got a couple of different moves on a card.
I'll tell you what, I'm telling you. Remember, there's a lot going on here, man.
It is a little at first, but then as soon as you play a couple games, then you relatively get into the swing of things. It becomes like second nature for you.
Yeah,
like riding a bike.
Yeah, see how long it took me to ride a bike. I'm seriously wishing I had that Chianti now. Right.
If Ryan Sinclair can do it, we all can.
Yes, indeed. Right. Okay. Here we go. So can I play anything yet? No, I can't play that. That needs 3. That needs 5. That's another land. Should I play another land?
Yes, absolutely. That'll give you more mana. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so this is add. This says, okay, pay 1 life, add. This is a fiery inlet. I'm going to try. Look at that. Lovely foilness.
Ooh.
Hold on.
So you can tap it for either one of those. So you can either do a water or a fire.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you have one that you play with that when you tap, you can sacrifice that card and draw another card. Sorry,
start again.
So for the first one, it basically could be either a water or a fire, depending on what you need.
Okay.
And then for the second ability, you would pay another mana fee, so you would tap one of your other lands, and then tap that card, and you can sacrifice Fiery Inlet to draw a new card.
So I put it in the graveyard or whatever it is, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend that at this current moment, just because we're all trying to still kind of build up our mana.
But decks. I could add it to my battleground, right?
Yes, absolutely. So now you've got more mana. So now you've got 3 mana that you could play.
I do 1, 2, 3, right? And I've got specifically, I've got the death, the fire, and I've got a water or another fire, right?
Yes.
Okay,
so you've got a death and a fire.
Starting to make sense. Okay, so if I do that, and do I do this all on the same go, or do I have to wait a turn or something?
No, once the lands can be played at any time.
Okay.
Right. It's just the creatures that have that kind of the wait period, the buffer period.
Okay, so I could play my Ensnared by the Mara. Wait. Which is two. Hold on. 2 fire mana, as far as I can tell.
All right. It says 2 fire mana, and then it has the 2 next to it, so that's actually 4.
It's actually 4. Okay, so I can't play it quite yet because I've only got 3.
Not yet. You get 1 more land, and I think, 1 more land, and you'll be in the clear though.
Okay, so let's see, because that looks like quite a good card actually. I might have just shot my bolt with that one.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Okay, but I could play. I just want to get some villains in the game.
You want to get fighting?
I could play So I could play a Weeping Angel, which has the number 1, and it has a water sign, and it also has the death sign, because that's what Weeping Angels do, right?
Yeah.
So I can play that.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now this says Flash, First Strike, Vigilance. Whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, Weeping Angel isn't a creature until end of turn. If Weeping Angel would deal combat damage to a creature, prevent that damage, and that creature's owner shuffles it into their library. That sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Geoff is horrified right now. I can look at his face. He's shock horror.
It's terrifying.
Right. Okay.
So if you attack one of our creatures, other than the one that's like human that will prevent all damage, but if you attack one of our other creatures, if it were to take damage that turn, or if it were to die that turn, you would instead shuffle it into your library. Ooh. So pretty much, like the Weeping Angel, instead of actually killing your creature, it'll send it back in time or back into your deck.
That's good, isn't it? I like that.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, has anybody got anything I can attack?
No.
Nothing currently.
So I'll put it back in the carpet.
Oh no, you got to keep it played.
Oh, got to keep it played. Okay, yeah.
There we go. It's on the battlefield.
He's on the battlefield. There it is. I'm just gonna move these things around.
And that means
so there's my land cards.
Yeah.
And there's my Weeping Angel. There we go. Okay. Right. Okay. Shall I throw my Chaos dice?
I recommend it. Yeah.
Should we do that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get out of this besiege fighting village.
That's a nothing.
Nothing.
Unbelievable. That's terrible,
no worries.
I suppose it's only a 2 in 6 chance, which is a 1 in 3. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Over to you, Geoff.
Okay. So I've got 7 cards here, but I can't play any of them. So
you're as stuffed as I was when I accidentally sniffled a land card from my reshuffle.
I reckon I'm about to join y'all on that too, because currently I am looking.
They do seem quite rare. I have found a few more actually, but it's,
they do make up a quarter of the deck. But if they're not,
no, they don't. That means 25 cards in here should be land cards. I think there's about 6.
No, it won't be, Paul. They're just not shuffled well. Same as mine. When we played the other night and we didn't get any land cards, I looked at them again the next day and I was like, oh, no wonder I didn't get any. They were all in the bottom.
Yeah, there's
part.
2 together there actually. Oh, there's 3.
So Max, what would you recommend I do here? My exotic orchard card, when it's tapped, it says add 1 mana of any colour that a land an opponent controls could produce. So Paul, I remember you've got have you got a fire there?
Yes. My Shadow Blood Ridge is a fire.
If I tap that, it would
so that could be a fire, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use that, can you? You're stealing my mana.
No, I still couldn't do anything with it. I need the least I need is a green and an extra mana to be able to do a Thijarian Witness. So, what I could do. Well, Max, is there anything I could do in my hand at the moment? It's pretty useless right now.
If you can't afford it with the mana, then it's just playing the waiting game pretty much.
Okay.
Eventually, with what the hope is, you'll pull either another land to add to your mana, or you'll pull something that's a bit weaker so you can get something onto the field.
Okay.
But you can't play anything at the moment, though, can you?
No. So I can't.
So if you can't play anything, you can't pull anything.
Oh, you can pull a card, but...
Oh, can he?
Yeah, he can still pull a card at the beginning of his turn. I think the max hand size is 8. So.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. So, my next card is a double-sided one.
Oh, that's a token card, so that doesn't... that actually needs to be put to the side. You only play that card if another card says it. So, like, for example, Girl in the Fireplace create a 1/1 white human noble creature token. So that's why I went ahead and put that into play.
Okay, I did wonder about that. Okay. So this one, for example, one side is an Ice Warrior, they just called it Alien Warrior, and the other side is Token Artifact Food. And when you tap it and use 2 mana, you sacrifice it, but you gain 3 life, so it would build your hit points up again.
There'll be a couple cards in your deck where it says create a food token, and that's when you would put that into play. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to take another card then to give me 8. And I still can't do anything with this. This is an artifact.
Oh.
No. So what? I can't really do much now, can I?
Yeah, pretty much. You're just playing the waiting game.
Okay.
Just as an aside. Sorry, Geoff, go on. I'll tell you in a minute.
Can I exile any cards to free up my hand, or?
Unless it says it in the directions of a card. So, like, if you were like, oh, there's a land card that says you can exile it to draw a new card.
Okay.
So, like, for Paul's card, Paul, you had a card, right, that said if you wanted to, you could pay an extra fee, exile the card and draw a new one, right?
Yes, my Ominous Cemetery, yeah.
Yeah.
Target creature's owner shuffles it into their library. So I could target something of Geoff's. If he was able to play anything.
Yeah.
Which you can't at the moment. That's a shame. Do you know what? So I've been playing from my stack of cards over to my left, right? Which is that. As you can see, that is a very diminished deck. That is not 100 cards, because I've just looked over to my right and I can see all the rest of my cards, and a very quick glance at them shows all my land cards in that side. So I shuffled half the deck. I didn't shuffle the rest of it.
Oh, goodness. There's the land cards.
That's where they're all hiding, over there.
We got them.
So I'm going to bring them together, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to give another little shuffle.
Paul's sitting there going, Magic, you haven't given me enough cards.
I'm thinking, that can't be right, can it? Because there was no way was there 25 land cards in that. So that's... I know. Max, I know we're probably bending the rules a little bit, but
that's okay. We're really showing off the game here.
Exploratory session.
Yeah, I think this is really good. Yeah, Max, what mana colours is your deck again?
So my deck is red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue.
Yes.
Because I'm just thinking. Red, white, and blue.
And right now, on my deck, I have a blue and white available.
Okay,
so.
that's good to know. Yeah, like I said, I need at minimum something and a green.
Gotcha.
Or 3, 2 and a fire. 2 and a fire. 3 and a fire. 4 and a fire. In other words, the hand that I've been dealt has shafted me.
Oh.
Oops.
The cloister bell is ringing.
Dun, dun. Okay, right. Oh, that was on top. So that's... Oh, those are double-sided cards. So I'll just put those in somewhere.
Max, do you keep your token cards outside of your deck?
I do. I keep them separate in this little pile right here.
But they form part of the deck, don't they? In the they're not an extra 5 cards or something.
I believe they're additional. I believe this should be 100 cards, and this should be the token cards.
Okay.
I believe it's
That's interesting. So, Paul, what that means then is we should go through, filter out our token cards, and put some new ones in from the booster pack that we got.
Mm-hmm. But for now, what we could definitely do is just like as we play, if you come across a token card, just pop it to the side.
Okay,
and if you need it, then you can search your library.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay.
Right.
Back to you then, Max.
Alrighty. So I'm going to untap my cards. I'm going to draw for turn. Hey, alrighty.
Ooh.
I'm going to play
that's
an island.
worrying.
It's all good. Honestly, it is just a land card, so I am going to play that down.
Oh, it's blue.
I still don't have. Yep, it's a blue one, so it's a basic island. So I still don't have any red, which means I cannot play my Ninth Doctor. However, I should. Let's see here. I think I would like to play. Gonna tap 2 here, and I'm going to play Rose Tyler and put her onto the battlefield. So there's Rose Tyler, and she will get 1/1 for each time counter on it. So there is currently a time, and with Bad Wolf, whenever she attacks, it puts a time counter on it for each suspended card I own. So the first time that Rose attacks, I will get 1 time counter since Trenzlore Clock Tower has something on it.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and tap my Trenzlore Clock Tower, bring that up to 4, and tap my Mind Stone as well for an additional mana. And I'm going to play the Thought Vessel, which is Professor Yana's Watch. I'm going to play that down, which means I have no maximum hand size, so whenever this plays and I add 7 cards to my library, I'll be able to still have them all. And if I wanted to, I can tap it and I can add an additional mana. So my mana's getting pretty built up over here.
Yeah.
But I only have 1 that I can play right now. I have nothing that can work with that. So I am pretty much good to go. So I'll go ahead and pass it on.
Okay, so what's actually in play there now then? What have we got?
So, the Ninth Doctor's still in my command zone. This is out here.
Yeah.
Currently, these are my lands right here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 land. Then these are my artifacts. So I've got the Thought Vessel and the Mind Stone here. These are my creatures in play. I forgot to play My Girl in the Fireplace card. Good thing I was looking around for it. I appreciate the reminder. Alrighty, so I've got these 2 here. And I've got my Saga card here. So this is vanishing 3, which means in 3 turns it's going to vanish. So that has gone down to 2 now. So in 2 turns, this card's going to vanish. I can create a 2/2 white horse creature token. With doctors you control have horsemanship. So, whenever the Doctor gets onto the field, he will be able to ride a horse.
That's cool. There you go.
Alrighty, there we go. There's my little horse.
There's your little horse.
It's Arthur from The Girl in the Fireplace.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, Okay, so let's have a look what I got. So I need to draw another card. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I must have played 2 cards last time, didn't I? So there's another one, and there's another. So now I've got 6. And I've just drawn 2 artifacts. Each one has. Now, one of these artifacts is a Talisman of Dominance, which says I can add. And it has a little diamond mana shape, so presumably that adds an extra mana piece to my deck. Yep. My battleground. And it says also I can add water or death. Talisman of Dominance deals 1 damage to me. 1 damage to you, to me, presumably.
Yep.
That's a symbol of an Ood's Translator.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, and how much does it cost you to play?
2 mana at the top, top, right?
And you've got 2 mana on your field.
Yeah.
I would recommend going ahead and playing that.
Okay, so I pop it on.
Yep, and then you're going to
tap it, right? So I turn it that way.
It doesn't have to be tapped, but you are going to have to tap the land that it cost you to play it. Right. So you're going to tap those first 2.
These 2 here. This one.
Yep.
And this one. I'll move that one over.
Yep. Okay. Because it costs 1 extra to tap your card, but that one adds 2. So we made it.
We made it. We're on. We're rocking and rolling. Yeah, because that adds a skull, and it needs a skull, and this just adds the diamond. There's a diamond there. Okay. Yep. So, but this says this deals 1 damage to me, right?
That's if you wanted it to be one of your if you want it to be a fire or a water instead of just a basic mana.
Right.
So I suppose if you wanted to change the card into a specific mana to be able to use it for a specific card, you'd have to take a hit point. That's right, isn't it, Max?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So what's okay? So I'm struggling a minute. So what is actually going on here then?
So now you've got basically next turn. Sorry, there's cats everywhere. So if you hear any meows in the background, there's about 4 of them roaming around this place. So if you have next time you start your turn, you will have 4 mana you can play.
Gotcha. Right. Okay.
So that'll open up a world of help for you in summoning your creatures and whatnot.
Maybe, Paul, you could put a token
so my 4
down.
mana. What token?
Well, one of these. Maybe, Max, would you say you could use one of these things as a mana representative? Or would you take out
so each one of those cards is pretty much representative of a mana.
Yeah, it's of itself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. So what? Let's see if we can get off this Viking battleground again. Right. So I'm gonna.
Yep. There we are.
Right. Yes.
Way.
We're in.
Okay. We made it. Alrighty.
We're good.
So
where
are we going?
Where are we going, Geoff?
Can we hold it up here?
What's that?
Can you read it?
Your camera's gone on your phone again.
Oh no, the camera on your.
Oh no, the camera on your face has gone.
No,
the camera on your face.
We can live without that one.
I've turned into North Pole Research Base. So this is on Earth. At the beginning of your upkeep.
It's from last Christmas, isn't it?
Last Christmas.
That's right. Yeah.
Not season South Pole.
At the beginning of your upkeep, a target opponent draws a card and creates a treasure token. So that's good for you guys, not so much for me.
But is that for each? And that's every turn though, right? So we could just give each other cards, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So whoever you want to give a card to, you may. So whenever, because we're in the middle of your upkeep still, I believe. So
no, we're not because
no, we were not.
Yeah, Paul rolled his chaos dice.
Got confused in it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay. So Paul, is that the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn. Yep.
Okay. So coming back to me, I still can't do anything. So
you're gonna draw a card.
Can I? I've already got 8.
Oh, you've got 8. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know then. Oh, well, Cats just knocked something over.
Yeah.
So if you've got 8, then you know what? Go ahead and draw. Yeah, I think it's draw another card. Just for the sake.
Just do it.
Or can I exile one? Okay, let me take another card. I'll tell you what, I'll exile something at random so that I'll put it in my graveyard. I won't look to see what it was. And I'll take another one. Yes. Now we're cooking. Slap some land down there.
Woohoo!
Desolate Lighthouse. So this is, I believe, colourless. So when I tap it, I add a mana, and then if I use a mana, I can draw a card, then discard a card. Is that right? Can you? If I show you that, hang on.
So it is if you play that card, and then it looks like a water type as well. So it'll be 2 cards and then a tap. And you can discard that. You can keep that land, and then you can discard a card from your hand and add a new card. So that's super helpful for you.
That's really good.
If you're, yeah.
Okay, so I can't do that yet because my Exotic Orchard card says this on it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that?
Add 1 mana.
Add 1 mana in any color.
But it has to come from an opponent. So Paul, you've got water, for example.
I do. Yes.
So can I play that now, Max? I've drawn and done my upkeep.
Yep. So you can take a water type from him.
Okay.
Play your other land down, and then tap, and then you can discard a card from your hand and draw a new card.
Okay. So I'm turning this into a water. I'm tapping
Max
that.
is literally playing for the 3 of us right now. I realise.
It is all good.
I'm tapping.
We must seem like complete noobs, Max. Honestly.
Oh, it is no worries at all.
So
everyone starts somewhere. And
I'm going to discard a card and draw a card. Yes, smashing. Okay.
Killer.
So me turning Exotic Orchard into one of Paul's water, does that affect Paul in any way, or is it just a theoretical thing?
It doesn't affect Paul, and also at the beginning of your next turn, it turns back into Exotic Orchard, so you can use it for another mana type.
Oh, fantastic.
So you can change it every single time.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay, so I leave everything tapped. I could roll the dice again, couldn't I?
Yep, you could.
Yeah. Well, in fact, we should have actioned the Plane Chase card. So at the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent draws a card and creates a treasure token. So I guess that means, well, I pick one of you guys, so I'll pick you, Max, because you'll know what to do. So you take a card from your deck and create a treasure token with it, I guess.
Alrighty. There we go. Yeah, so I have a treasure token right here.
So was that one of your, like, separate piles?
The double-sided ones, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, it's one of your double-sided ones. So I will add a treasure token. And basically, this is like kind of a temporary mana card.
Yeah.
So only once it's disposable, but you can tap it to add a mana of any color.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right, brilliant. I'm happy there. So
there you go.
Back round to you, Max.
Alrighty. So I will go ahead and untap everything here. So I have currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential mana opportunities. And I will go ahead and draw a card. Great, still don't have any fire types at all, so I'm pretty much doomed. But I can, whenever a creature you control deals damage, combat damage to a player this turn, I can time travel. So I do have someone I could play. Right. I want to first tap some cards, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add one here and then tap that, tap this one, and one of my ones here. And I'm going to play another Saga card, the 11th Hour.
Ooh.
So this one has some cool little art on it of Amy and them. So I can, so for my first Saga token, I can search my library for a Doctor card, reveal it, then put it into my hand, and then I shuffle my deck again. So let's check for a Doctor card. Do I have anything that I can use? And it's got to be the first one that I see, so let's see.
Whilst you do that, I'm just going to say, Paul, once this gets going, it starts to get really exciting, doesn't it? Once you get past that initial thing of, well, I haven't got enough land.
It does.
And you start to then, you get another one or two and then start to discover, actually, this card means I can do this and, and do that. It starts to really get going, doesn't it? And Max, I guess when you play with your friends, who are well versed in this, the beginning stages kind of rattle along pretty quickly whilst you just chat and just get your cards out, and you're not having to stop and explain to Egypts like us. You can say yes.
So those initial ones, they are relatively quick.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of get into the meat and potatoes of it all. But the best game is one where everyone is kind of building up their decks at a similar rate. So this is poor Paul over here. He's had a real rodder with the land cards. So that's that's that. But so ironically, for the 11th hour, the first Doctor card I found was the 11th Doctor. So that goes into my hand, and then I shuffle the rest of my deck. Other than that, I will be going into combat, so I'll shuffle after that.
Okay.
So I will attack this turn. So I'm going to attack with Rose Tyler. Yes. And does anyone have any blockers at all?
You might have to define a blocker.
Any
camera back into focus.
Any creatures in play. Basically, if you have a creature in play and it has a bigger damage, so like let's say you had a creature who's had 3/3 in that corner there, it would knock out my Rose Tyler and it would send her back to the command zone. But if you don't have a blocker, then you yourself take 2 damage. So who do I want to attack?
Well, it's not going to be me because I've only got lands.
Has to be me then. So you have to attack my alien angel, right?
Yes, but did I put a creature onto the deck this turn? No, I did not. So I think I can just go ahead and attack your angel. What's your angel at?
So my angel says, whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, Weeping Angel isn't a creature until end of turn. If Weeping Angel would deal combat damage to a creature, prevent that damage, and that creature's owner shuffles it into their library.
Oh, well.
So does that mean you got to stick your card back into your library that you just try to attack me with?
So what's the 2 numbers? Is it
2 and 2? Yeah.
Okay, so I knock your. So I get. So the good news is your angel is gone. So your angel's in your graveyard now. The bad news is...
How's that good news? That's not good news for me. It's good news for you.
Me. Oh, it's fantastic news for me. But the bad news is you have done the same thing. You've done a similar thing to Rose Tyler. Because now, during this next shuffle period, and I don't think I can put it back in my command zone. I think I just have to shuffle it in. So you've just put me 1 commander down.
That seems like quite a good move then.
That's really good.
Had I remembered about that Weeping Angel, I may have changed my mind on attacking you, Paul. So,
well, this is the thing with playing it online, I suppose, isn't it? Because you can't. It's very difficult to read what we've all got, which is where I suppose the virtual deck comes in quite useful if it can scan your cards and put them all up. And
so there is spell table.
Really blurry, aren't they? Yeah, the spell table.
I really like that because they've obviously thought very hard about all the traditional Magic cards and how to put a Doctor Who liquor paint on them, but that card has done exactly what the Weeping Angel would do, and so that narrative element of it—that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's quite good. I like that.
Cool.
So I mean, it's no good to me anymore, right? I've got to exile it.
Right? You got to graveyard it, yeah.
Graveyard. So the graveyard's over there somewhere, I think, isn't it? Just face down over there.
There we go.
Right.
Alrighty. So
Okay.
I guess I have no one anymore.
You got to start again, building up.
Yeah.
What's going
and
on?
This has vanishing 1 now, so next turn it's going to vanish. Oh, I could have attacked. I could attack with this card too. I just realized it. So I just might.
Wipe
Go on,
him
go
out.
for it.
Jeff, you're getting 1 damage, so you're now gone from 40 to a whopping 39.
So I will demonstrate that
gonna-
here. Hold on.
Try and use this. Hold on.
So in this we have this little card counter, as you will see,
yes.
because in a normal Magic game you get a 20-sided dice, don't you? So in Commander mode you have 40 hit points, whereas normally you have 20. So on here, on the back, look, I'm going to turn that round to display.
I should be on 40, shouldn't
hold on, 39.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
And Paul,
down
since
1
you blocked me, you're still at 40, so you're still golden.
And that's interesting.
still golden.
So I can take a hit even though I don't have any creatures on the playing field
Exactly. That's why you want to get your creatures out, so you can use them potentially as blockers.
to block you. Okay, that's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was quite good then. Good job I put that out, wasn't it? Even though
Yeah, man.
what's going
Good
on.
deal.
Right, okay. Where's my hand gone? I'll do it with my
It's on the end of your wrist.
Ha! I have it. Right, so let me just say I've got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pick up another one. Okay. Okay, so what tell us about artifacts then. So what is it? Because I know you played one earlier, didn't you, Max?
Yeah, so an artifact is pretty much, it's not a creature, you can't attack it, it's just something that you can use in your field. So for example, my Thought Vessel is an artifact, and it means that I have no maximum hand size and I can play it like mana.
Okay, all right, that sounds interesting. So I'm gonna put on my background actually the card I just picked up, which is a Commander's Sphere. So that looks quite exciting to me. So I can add 1 mana of any color in my Commander's color. What's that, library?
Yeah, so your commander, any of the mana that they have, you can play that color.
So my commander is Davros, and they have, and so this is at the top, right? These things there.
Looks like you have all three of the colors that are in your deck.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if I should play this guy. Should I play this bad boy now? Should I bring him into the game?
Let's see here.
Wheel him in.
You have. Oh, don't forget to untap your lands. So
yes.
you've got.
Okay. So
untap
you've that way.
So you've got a red, a black, and then another black there, and then. You just played that artifact, right?
Yes,
that has any color.
This one.
So you currently have, and then is that one also give you a mana, the Ood Sphere?
Yeah. So okay. So this adds one of anything, or add one. So it adds one of anything, and does that mean it also adds? So there we go. That's the full. Is that in focus?
Yeah, so it's either you get a neutral mana or you get red or blue and you take a life.
Yeah, okay, so let's leave it on the neutral, because I don't take a life yet. And I can add one of any colour in my commander's colour identity, which, as we said, is... Well, what is it, actually? So he's got 3 there. He's got the water, the death, and the mountain, the fire.
Yeah, so you could play
in the corner.
You could play
right?
you could play one of any of those. So currently, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he costs 3, so you would need a black, a red, and a blue. Do you have all of those?
So this one gives me a blue, right? So if I untap it, right? Is that untapped or tapped? I don't know.
That's tapped there.
So that's in play, right?
Yep.
Okay, this one gives me a red
and a black, right?
A red and a black, yeah.
Cool. So you've got a blue, red, and a black. So all you've got to do, and you said that one had all 3 and then only 1 additional mana.
Hold on.
Or for Davros.
For Davros, yes. So I need 3. No, I need 1. Yes, yeah. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 additional mana, which can come from this guy, right?
that can come from one of your artifacts, actually.
Yes, it can come from the Commander Sphere.
There you are. And so...
So Davros goes in.
Yep.
And what does he do?
So he's in play. So you have to wait to attack with him, but you can attack with him your next turn.
Okay, so do I untap him that way?
You would have...
He's got to go in like that first.
He's got a summoning sickness.
Summoning sickness, right. So I've got so I can put him on the battlefield. He can't do much yet. And then I've got to kind of, I guess I've got to leave that there then, haven't I? And hand across to Geoff. But my hand is looking pretty astonishing now as Davros rolls into view.
Yeah.
Alongside Ood Spheres and other stuff.
Okay. So
into the North Pole base.
Untap to start with. And then I'm going to play a new land card, which is Sheltered Thicket from Robot of Sherwood.
Oh,
that's nice.
And this says, Sheltered Thicket enters the battlefield tapped, and it adds a fire or a tree. And then the next bit says cycling for 2 mana. Discard this card and draw a card. So I guess if I wanted to get rid of this and try getting a new card, I'd spend 2 mana and use that. So I'm going to put that down there. And then, let me just have a look. So I'm going to use this as green. Desolate Lighthouse is anything because it's got the colourless symbol on it. I've got a fire and I've got this is a water, so I've got fire, water, tree, and then whatever else I want that to be, I guess. So I am going to put in Madame Vastra, who is, if you can see, 2 mana, a tree, and a water. So I've got that. Is that right, Max?
Yep.
So put her down. So she's summoning sickness. And can I put down an artifact or anything like that at the moment?
So have you already... Yeah, have you tapped the mana for your Vastra?
No. So all of this is now tapped. So presumably that means I can't put anything else down. Is that right?
Yep. So you're done for the your turn.
So don't forget, you guys, one of you needs to draw a card and create a treasure token based on the North Pole research base.
Shoot!
So I'm going to do that to you this time, Paul.
Okay. So when it's my go, is it?
No, it's now, isn't it? I think, Max.
It's now. Okay. Yeah. So what have I got to do?
So you draw a card and then you place a treasure token down. If you need to search your library for one of those, it's one of those double-sided ones we were talking about.
Okay, so I draw a card from top of my deck. Is that right?
Yep.
Put it into my hand.
Yep.
And then...
typically, you'd have your tokens off to the side. Yes. For now, just for the sake of ease, if you want to just put a token down, we'll just remember that's your treasure token.
I mean, I have a bunch of them over here somewhere. So
yeah, these things right here.
So I've just pulled in Dalek / Cyberman.
All right, so it's going to have to say treasure on it. If you don't have one, then just playing a counter would work for you. Okay,
so does he go on my battleground?
The treasure token does, but the card you just drew, it just is in your hand, so you'll still have to pay the summoning cost.
Right. Okay. So Dalek goes up there.
Oh.
There's a treasure token, right?
No, so it's going to have to say treasure on it. So, like, for example, here it says treasure on it.
It doesn't say treasure. Hold on.
Yeah.
Token enchantment. Dalek. So these are the cards that are double-sided, are they?
Yes, yes. So the other side will be something different. It might be a treasure, potentially.
Might be a treasure. Let's see what I've got.
So,
and if you can't find one, once again, we can just use a placeholder.
All these cards that are token cards, Paul.
There we go. Copy. That says token on it. This one, this thing here. This token can be used to represent a copy of something else.
All right, yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay,
that'll just be your treasure.
And that just goes up here somewhere, right?
Yeah, so at any point you can sacrifice that artifact and add 1 mana of any color to a spell, but it's a temporary one. So once you tap it, you get rid of it.
Okay, so it's quite useful if I need 1 extra mana for something, right?
Exactly.
Okay, right. So you'll go now, Max, right?
Yep.
Because gotcha.
Or did you finish your turn, Geoff?
No, I didn't
Jeff.
actually. No.
He's got more up his sleeve.
Whilst you've been doing that, I've just taken out my token card, so that's 10 cards there. So I need to put another 10 back into my main deck, don't I?
I think that the token cards are separate from the 100 that you got.
Yeah, so that's I'll have to count that, but then that's taken out 10, I think. Yeah. So that's fine for now. I'm going to roll the Chaos dice to see what happens with the Plane Chase card.
Alrighty.
So it's come up with.
Oh, so we go to a different plane.
Got a new ground.
Bye-bye, North Pole.
We'll take that out. Goodbye. And we are now at Mummy on the Orient Express.
Whoa!
Ooh, that's man.
That's cool. So when you planeswalk to the dining car, each player creates a food token. So we've just moved there, so we all need to take a food token from our token pile.
Alrighty, so let's see, food token.
I should have taken them out, actually.
Here we are.
So where would you put that, Max? Onto the playing field?
I would put it, I would put it onto the battlefield, but I would put it next to any other artifacts you may have. So, for example, I've got my Mind Stone, Thought Vessel, Treasure, and food token, all that.
So kind of separate them into like the creatures and the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the other bit on this, 66 seconds at the beginning of your upkeep, presumably me, sacrifice a creature with the least toughness amongst the creatures you control, then investigate. So obviously you get rid of one of them. What's the investigate? Is that take a card from the deck, or
you create a clue token, and that clue token you can sacrifice for I think a mana. Okay. Yeah, you have 2 mana. You sacrifice that artifact, and you can draw a new card.
Okay,
gotcha.
So is that for everyone's upkeep, or is that just the first time?
Well, it says at the beginning of your upkeep. I would take that to be everyone on their upkeep step.
So we all have to get rid of. All right.
What do we have to get rid of?
At some point, we'll have to get rid of our least powerful creature.
Okay.
So that'll be at the beginning of the upkeep.
Should we do that only if you've got more than one creature out?
Yeah. So I'll I think I'm next, and I think my upkeep is first. So I'll demonstrate what that'll look like.
Yeah, I wonder whether that would be on every play, because you're just going to slowly get rid of creatures, aren't you?
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Maybe it's only on that. Maybe it only applies to me as the Plane Chase master here, if that is a thing. Yeah, maybe it's that, because otherwise you're just going to end up, getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Every turn. Okay, so maybe it's just for me. Okay. Alright, so that'll come into play next time around then.
Good deal.
Okay. Alright, I'm done then in that case.
Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and untap everything.
Ooh.
So that's all available to me. I am going to draw a card. You're kidding. Okay, this doesn't seem right. I'm going to, out of good faith, I've just pulled Rose Tyler again. So out of good faith, I'm going to go ahead and stick this somewhere random in my deck.
That's okay, we don't mind.
The angel didn't send her that far back in time.
No, it wasn't that far back. Rose Tyler's fought her way back to the future.
Okay, we'll keep her then. But she will go into my command zone, and I'll have to pay commander tax if I want to summon her again, which means I have to pay 2 additional mana.
Yeah, okay.
So, alrighty. Okay, I think I'm going to have a crazy play.
Go for it. Come on, this is what we want now. We're building up to something.
Alrighty, let me just make sure I'm reading everything correct. So that's going to be.
I feel
I have to play my saga cards. So Human Noble goes away. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
She's gone.
Bye.
See you later. And then I create a token that's a copy of a target creature, except it's a legendary alien named Prisoner Zero.
Oh.
So, does anyone have any creature? You have a Madame Vastra, don't you?
I do.
All right, I think I want that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. So this is Madame Vastra.
So that's a 3/3.
Oh, that's where the copy comes in.
Yes. So I'm a 3/3 Madame. I have a 3/3 Madame Vastra on my side. It's got all the same stuff as yours does.
Okay.
Yeah, except it's Prisoner Zero. So, Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. I was reading the wrong one. That's not for a long time.
Ooh,
I've got it. Oh my goodness!
He's getting too excited too early.
I was getting a little stir crazy. So, this one says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player this turn, I get to time travel. So, I will go ahead and see if I can pull anyone for that. But then I also create a food token. So let's see if I have another food token. If not, I'll just play it as a copy. I believe I will have to play it as a copy. I've got 2 food tokens. Oh, go ahead.
I've played Vastra wrong. Sort of. It says, partner with Jenny Flint. When this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Jenny Flint into their hand from their library, then shuffle. So
maybe that's an option, though, is it?
Yeah, well, no, that's something you definitely should do. So what I would recommend is while I'm doing my turn, if you want to go through, find Jenny and then shuffle up your deck, that'll work.
Okay.
So I've got 2 food tokens now, and I need a 1/1 white human creature, which should look like Amy, I believe. Let's see. On Earth is mine. Oh, is it on the other side of this one? Where on earth is my human gone? How interesting. Alrighty. Well, in that case, since I cannot somehow I've lost my human, I will go ahead and just play a copy card, and that'll represent that card. All you have to remember is it's 1/1, and it says that doctor spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. So that means that I can cast both of my doctors potentially under the same one. So let's see here. What can I do? Well, first of all, I will go ahead and I will tap these 2 here. So this is going to be a blue. This is going to be a white but a sun card. And I'm going to play the 11th Doctor from my hand.
Ooh.
So whenever I deal damage with the 11th Doctor, I may exile a card from my hand with a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value, which means that basically after the time counters run out, then I will be able to go ahead and play that card without paying any sort of fee. Then, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to sacrifice my treasure token to add 1 red mana. So this is gone. Bye-bye. And I'm going to tap a blue card here to get the 9th Doctor onto the field as well. So we've got a multi-Doctor story going on now.
9 and 11 team up.
Whenever the Doctor becomes untapped during my untap step, I get an additional upkeep. So that means if there's any time counters and stuff, basically I'm taking out 2 instead of 1. And for the last one, do I have anything else I can play? No, I do not. No, I do not. So
it's
unless
hot out there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Am I? Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna keep this one for now. So I'm going to go ahead and pass my turn on.
Okay, right. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got 7.
Paul?
Okay, so yeah.
I'm aware of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
was thinking that for y'all too.
Maybe
should, actually.
Yeah, should we pause here and take photos of our decks?
Should we pause it here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is good because I'm feeling greatness just around the corner right now. So I'm going to hold that back here. Yes, because I have family who are currently making their way to bed.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
It's Monday morning in the morning, so
yeah,
I better get them.
Yeah, it's getting to about 10:30 for y'all, right? So definitely. I mean, it's 4:30 here, so I'm still wide awake.
So you're good.
But,
you've got hours ahead of you. You're fine.
Still keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Max.
I'm happy to resume this.
Yeah, let's we'll take pictures in a minute. We'll be on the video here anyway. But yeah, we can continue this again. And we'll see if we can do it next week.
I might be at the Chris Chibnall interview, so in length. So
yeah.
At this rate,
legendary status.
Yeah,
brilliant. Okay, well, Max, thank you so much for taking us through the very early stages of our Magic game. Still a little bit foggy, but the fog is starting to clear. I can kind of feel that now. So yes,
that's the goal.
I think it's just around the corner. So brilliant. We shall see you again very shortly, my friend.
And anyone watching, we hope you've learned something here, and it fires you up to get out and play some Magic yourself.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Great. Thank you, everyone. Catch you next time.